What if future Gohan turned Super Saiyan God? How powerful would he be? And would that make a difference at all in his timeline if he isn't killed? This topic I've thought about, obviously, with the upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie and Gohan being the main protagonist of the film, which I've been telling people for years on my first channel, Electric Kame, aka DBZ Warrior, about this. I've been saying this for years that Gohan was going to have his moment. But of course, people have no faith in their lives, so they just don't even expect it. But point being, future Gohan turning into a Super Saiyan God in his timeline where the androids don't actually kill him, I think is interesting because let's look at it like this. Let's say instead of Goku being the Saiyan to meet Beerus and going through that whole Battle of Gods arc and the premonition that Beerus was having. What if instead that happens with future Gohan? Now, obviously, the entire dynamic of Dragon Ball is vastly different at this point because of so many characters that have died. Now, maybe at this point, you've brought some characters back. Or, if you prefer to stick with the original timeline, just again with the exception of the androids killing Gohan, let's just say Gohan is able to kill the androids. I'm not going to say he turned into Super Saiyan God at that moment because that would have been an extremely early time. Within that timeline for Gohan to have tapped into Super Saiyan God, it still would have been a couple more arcs and more years way after that point. So let's just say Gohan figures out a way to defeat the androids. Maybe he has some false Super Saiyan type of boost or something. And then you fast forward to basically where Battle of Gods takes place, and instead of Goku being the one that Beerus has these dreams and this premonition about, it's instead future Gohan, who is still alive with one arm, and he's chosen not to wish that arm back for the sake of staying where he is. Maybe Gohan tries to have a different change of pace where mentally he's not exactly like the Gohan that we know in today's timeline, which is very true. I mean, there is a difference between future Gohan and present day Gohan. Even though they are technically the same, their mindsets are different because future Gohan went through a crap ton of stuff and he was one of the only Z fighters fighting on behalf of the entire planet, compared to DBZ Gohan that's gone through a lot of crap in his own right. But I mean, it's never gotten, to me at least, when you compare the timelines, future Gohan's timeline is scary. Like when it comes to Dragon Ball Z lore, that timeline is scary. The androids pretty much destroyed everything. So with that being said, future Gohan I could see being in that mindset of like, oh, I don't need my arm back. I've been able to figure out how to do things. And maybe him not having the arm actually benefits him in some weird way. I mean, it's Dragon Ball after all. Crazier, weirder things have been written in. I don't think that would be out of the realm of possibility. So you consider all this, Gohan ends up being the one that Beerus sees, and they come toe-to-toe. How would a future Gohan in Super Saiyan God pan out in comparison to a Beerus? Now, I know some people are probably also thinking, well, wait, go back a step. How did he turn into a Super Saiyan God? And this obviously would need either the ritual to happen or a wish, or perhaps Gohan just goes the route like Vegeta and he taps into Super Saiyan God without the ritual. That is the route I'm going to go because I see that as, first of all, the most efficient route that could happen at that point in time with most of the characters dead unless they were wished back. And two, if Vegeta was able to do it, there's no excuse why Gohan can't do it either. If anybody understands Gohan's true potential and ends up displaying his disappointment sometimes when Gohan hasn't reached that point, it's Vegeta. You know, Goku knows how strong his son is. Goku believes in Gohan, but Vegeta is a Saiyan warrior, knowing that Gohan is still a hybrid Saiyan. He takes that personally, and he hates the idea that Gohan has all this raw potential and talent, but he doesn't tap into it. So with all that being said, Gohan ends up tapping into Super Saiyan God the same way Vegeta did. Him and Beerus are the ones that we see in Battle of Gods going toe-to-toe instead of Goku versus Beerus. My question to you guys is, if you would like me to continue this series, how do you think this initial skirmish would play out? I mean, there's a lot more characters we could obviously introduce into this story at some point. Obviously, probably a lot from Dragon Ball Super beyond the Battle of Gods era, but for this beginning part of this question, does Gohan win against Lord Beerus? Does Beerus defeat Gohan in the same way he defeated Goku? Is there some interference? How do you think that battle would actually go? Where would you put the power of a Super Saiyan God future Gohan in comparison to where Goku was at Super Saiyan God in Dragon Ball Super during Battle of Gods? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We shall take it from there. And depending on what you guys say in the comment section below, might be able to work that into obviously the second part of this story if it ends up turning into that, or this series I should say. I think that's a little bit more appropriate. So thank you guys for love and support. If you're new, make sure to subscribe here for weekly Dragon Ball content. I apologize for the lack of content for those of you that have been here really over the last month, it's been a very, very, well, let's just say a lot of us in the world are still, struggling. It's very stressful times, especially for me dealing with stuff. So I just haven't been on YouTube, and I haven't been in the mindset of wanting to record. But I'm back. Can't wait for this DBS movie to drop here as of this time in a couple of weeks, which is really crazy. And yeah, we'll take it from there. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe for weekly Dragon Ball discussion content. Let me know your thoughts, whether or not future Gohan as Super Saiyan God can defeat Lord Beerus, whether Beerus gets the better end of that deal, or if it's kind of like a draw. Let me know your thoughts. We shall take it from there. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you all today, but I will see you later. Goodbye.